Gemini parents, thank you so much, or parents of Gemini children, I should say, but you know what I mean. Thank you so much for watching Parental Guidance. If you would like to see your child's overview for 2019, please watch the welcome video on how you can accomplish that. So for the month of January, your child is going to be doing some deep introspective work. And it's varying by age. It's going to look differently. So if you have a toddler who's a Gemini, you may notice that they are slightly withdrawn, or they may be in a pensive state, or they may be thinking a lot, or they may be playing by themselves, or with their toys. There's just going to be moments of quiet, moments where they are less chatty, because Geminis are an air sign. They're thinkers, they're talkers. Geminis especially are communicators. So just be mindful that may be a means, if they are younger, that they may be expressing this inner work that's taking place. But it's, I say it's a dark night of the soul. It's not in a depressive way. It's just there's a lot of introspective, I think that's the right word, work going on within. A lot of pruning, a lot of fine-tuning, a lot of thinking about who they are, who they will evolve into in this next year. And that's what's taking place in January. So it's nothing to be concerned about. It's just, this is a process. This is necessary for what they will experience for the rest of this year, okay? It's prep time. They have the Raven card in reverse. And this is what made me think of the Dark Night of the Soul. It's the crow. My bad. It's one of those black birds. But they have the crow in reverse. It speaks of renewal, transformation, magic, and abundance. Go ahead and pause that so you can read it. But what spoke to me was, it's almost like they're isolated, they're alone, they're in darkness. They are left to figure some things out on their own. And that's what they will be doing. They have the plum card as their vibration. So they will be looking at they will be overcoming their own challenges. And I'm surprised that I guess I already kind of figured out where this card was going before I made sure I had an overview. But I just got a sense that with this plum card, they're going inward, they're going deeper, they're looking internally. And it says it's a color of devotion, dedication, commitment that connects you to your heart and life's purpose, creating deep bonds and friendships and relationships, assisting you to stay strong through hardships and difficult situations. So it's a color of deep inner faith and strength. It helps you to overcome your challenges and discover your life's purpose. So right on, without me reading it, that's essentially what's happening. So kudos to me for picking that up. As far as their challenge for January, they have the amulet stones, or the thunder eggs, in reverse. And in the upright, it speaks of protection, guidance, travel, and integration. But I just see them kind of staying off to themselves, going inward for sure. I just see them being introspective in January. It's not a bad thing. They're not avoiding people, but they are just taking this time to go and dig deep within. For a greater purpose. It'll serve a greater purpose in 2019. Believe me. Just keep that in mind. This is not a bad thing. It's purposeful. They have the Judgment card as their emotional energy for January. And if you can read that, it says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And to some extent, they will be discovering theirs. They may struggle with accepting what their path is. There may be some upset about that, but just be mindful. This is part of the process. That's definitely what it is, I feel. They may look at how they judge others, but ultimately it comes back to how they see themselves. In the midst of this month, their goal is to be helpful. While they're being introspective, you may notice that they are more helpful around the house. They're doing that because it's not a diffusing, it's not to take their mind off, but by being productive and being helpful, it's helping them to unravel what lessons they need to learn about themselves, or it gives them time to think about what they need to do. It's almost like they're on autopilot, like they're being helpful, but it's productive. Like by them being, by volunteering their time, that energy is being used to kind of help fuel them as far as where they need to. It's going to help them think clearly about themselves. So it's not selfish. It's a part of their process. They need to be helpful in order for them to do the work within. Those cards just need to go at an angle for some reason. I always put those cards at an angle. For the month of January, they have the TikTok card in reverse. That's what it looks like in the upright, so you can see it. I wonder if in the beginning of the month they are a little frustrated or anxious about, they feel that something should take place and it hasn't. It's nothing for them to worry about because this is all divine process. And this is a divine work that's taking place in their life. In the second week, they may notice that there are some foundations, or there's a crack in their foundation that needs to be addressed. They have the building blocks card in reverse. So it's like the first week, they're frustrated because, oh, why hasn't this happened yet? Why haven't I gotten the results? And then in the second week, they're coming to understand that the reason why they didn't get these results has a lot to do with how they see themselves. What they haven't paid attention to in their makeup that now needs to be addressed in order for them to move forward. So they have the building blocks card in reverse for the second week. It's time for them to strengthen those areas, strengthen their convictions, let go of what no longer serves them. They're cleaning house, and rightfully so. It says, do not be afraid to replace what is not solid. So there's definitely some work going on in them to clean house, to get rid of some things that are, no longer necessary to be there. In the third week, they have chopped wood, and excuse me. That's in reverse. Here's in the upright so you can actually see it. I almost get the feeling that it's a sense of entitlement, like they're still in a state of denial as it comes to, what they want versus them accepting where they are. Like, they're being asked to take stock of where they are right now, and to see that there's some areas that they need to fix and realign and go deeper and reassess and readdress. And right now they want to dream instead of doing the work and focus on the big goals and the aspirations without realizing, well, hey, honey, you're not there right now. You're not there yet. And if you want that to happen, you got to stop dreaming and you got to start doing stuff, do the stuff to make it happen if that's what you say that you want, So it's doing something about it. It's not just talking about it. Being active. I also see like dreams and aspirations for themselves. Like, yeah, I see myself as being X, Y, and Z, but not really having an honest conversation about where they are right now and why that can't happen right now, because they're still holding on to stuff that prevents them from being able to get to that next level. There's a lack of maturity, or there's something missing that they're currently doing that's not allowing them to be able to do those things. And they have to recognize that first. And so that's what is at hand. Now, finally, towards the end of the month, there's some kind of deep soul conversation that takes place where their intuition and, they're starting to listen within and say, and take stock in account, like, okay, I understand now. I know what I need to do better. It's almost like they have a deeper understanding of something this month, and that's great. So there is a transition from, going to a state of arrogance or, thinking that they have it all together, to them understanding that they don't, and then them moving forward so that they can have what they want. What's changing is, some decisions, the understanding that they don't know it all. It's decisions right here in the upright. That's what it looks like. In reverse, they're like really frustrated with themselves that, they don't have all the answer. I just get angst, I get anxiety. I'm like, I get this, feeling from them. Like they need to make a decision in the upright. But in the reverse, they're like really frustrated that the decision that they made isn't working for them, or, they have to make a decision and they're just frustrated that, I just get it's like they're frustrated and it's not working out. Like they need to make a new decision, or they're frustrated that they have to make a new decision, or they're frustrated about the fact that they have to make a choice, period. So it's definitely some resistance to having to make a decision, or resistance towards the decisions that are in front of them, the choice that's in front of them. Something along that line. Now, the solution, they have the let go of anxiety card in reverse. And this is not saying hold on to the anxiety, in my opinion. It says calm your nerves and you'll be able to hear the voice of your angels. This is a time for them to talk, to get it out of their system. I see this as, almost them being given the space to let it out, to have a fit, for them to be like, to just yell, to express themselves. I can't take this. I don't understand. Blah, 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 blah. Like, their solution is for them to let out this pent up frustration about their journey. I really sense that, okay? Like, I really sense them like, that's what they need to do this month, is let it out. And by them letting it out, not letting go, not dismissing it, but them getting it out of their system is going to allow themselves to be able to finally get to a space of calm where they can let it out in order for them to move forward. Does that make sense? So that's the answer. They got to get it out. How you can help them, you have the affection card in reverse, and that is not saying don't give your child affection. That is simply saying, and I really, there's a woo-saw moment right now. Like, I really feel it. Spiritual sensitivity here. This is not saying do not be affectionate with your child, but this is just hold space for them. Okay. It says love yourself. You are the ultimate art or active creation fashioned by the hands of the divine artist. Now you may be helping them. You may tell them to show themselves affection. But ultimately, I see you holding space for them and standing back so that they can work this thing out on their own, okay? There's a very special message for Gemini parents. You have this very studious card here. Speaks of knowledge and, research and all that other stuff. And then you have the I am organized card. So I'll give you a moment to read that real quick. Or pause so you can read it. I almost see law. I see like you either having to be by the book about something. either you have to defend something in a law situation, not necessarily court, but I just see you like being very prepared, very organized, whether it's related to business, whether it's your goals for this year, but you're very focused, you're very goal oriented. I just see you very laser sharp focus, and you will be successful. You are very poised. You're positioning yourself for success, because it's like beyond a shadow of a doubt, you will be organized. Like no matter what, it's something big coming up, and you are making sure that you are prepared going forward. So I don't know exactly what it is. It feels like it's related to your career, your longevity, like your long-term plans, but you will be successful because you see ahead of time the amount of preparedness that's required, and you have the attitude that you will not fail, and you won't. So kudos to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.